The family of former Zambian President Edgar Chagwa Lungu has publicly denied engaging in any negotiations with the government regarding the burial arrangements of the late leader, despite growing speculation and conflicting statements from state officials. In a statement issued by family spokesperson Mkebi Zulu, the Lungus clarified that no formal or informal discussions have taken place with government representatives concerning the repatriation of the former president's remains or the location of his final resting place. This denial comes amid heightened public interest and media coverage surrounding the legal and political dimensions of the burial dispute, which has evolved into a constitutional and symbolic standoff between the family and the state. The controversy stems from a ruling by the Pretoria High Court earlier this month, which authorized the Zambian government to repatriate Lungu's body from South Africa to Lusaka for a state funeral at Embassy Park, the official burial site for Zambian presidents. The family, however, has challenged this decision, filing an application for leave to appeal on the grounds that the proposed burial arrangements contradict the late president's personal wishes and were never agreed upon by his relatives. The legal battle has since escalated, with the family seeking to halt the enforcement of the repatriation order while pursuing further judicial remedies. In their appeal documents, the Lungu family cited multiple procedural and substantive concerns, including the alleged misapplication of legal principles by the High Court, reliance on a provisional funeral program that lacked consensus, and failure to recognize the absence of familial agreement on burial plans. They also accused the government of acting in bad faith by misrepresenting the role of President Hakainde Hichilema in the funeral proceedings, suggesting that such misrepresentation invalidated any prior understanding between the parties. These claims have added a layer of political tension to an already sensitive matter, raising questions about the intersection of personal autonomy, state protocol, and national symbolism in posthumous presidential honors. Despite the family's firm denial of ongoing talks, President Hichilema recently stated that the government was in contact with certain members of the Lungu family in South Africa, implying that discussions were underway to resolve the dispute amicably. This assertion has fueled confusion and speculation, with observers questioning the credibility of both sides and the transparency of the negotiation process. The discrepancy between the president's remarks and the family's official statement underscores the complexity of the situation and the challenges of navigating public communication in high-stakes political matters. Legal experts have weighed in on the case, noting that the Constitutional Court of South Africa declined to hear the family's direct appeal, citing procedural grounds and emphasizing the importance of following established judicial hierarchies. The court ruled that the family must first seek leave to appeal through the Gauteng High Court and, if unsuccessful, escalate the matter to the Supreme Court of Appeal before approaching the Constitutional Court again. This decision has narrowed the family's immediate legal options and reinforced the principle of due process, signaling that constitutional urgency alone does not warrant bypassing lower courts. From a symbolic perspective, the burial of a former head of state carries profound implications for national identity, historical continuity, and political legitimacy. Embassy Park, as the designated burial site for Zambian presidents, represents a space of collective memory and institutional reverence. The government's insistence on burying Lungu at this location reflects its commitment to preserving the ceremonial integrity of presidential transitions, regardless of political affiliations or personal disputes. Conversely, the family's preference for a private burial in South Africa highlights the tension between individual agency and state authority in matters of public commemoration. The involvement of prominent human rights lawyer advocate Thembeka Nkukhaitobi SC in the case has further elevated its legal and political significance. Known for his advocacy in landmark constitutional battles, Nkukhaitobi's entry into the dispute signals a strategic shift in the family's approach and suggests that the case may evolve into a broader test of constitutional governance in the region. His reputation for challenging state overreach and defending civil liberties adds weight to the family's claims and may influence public perception of the dispute. As the legal proceedings continue, The body of Edgar Lungu remains at the Two Mountains Mortuary in South Africa, pending resolution of the appeal. The mortuary, listed as the 8th applicant in the case, has become a focal point of logistical and symbolic contention, embodying the liminal space between personal mourning and public ritual. The delay in burial has sparked debate among Zambians and regional observers, with some expressing concern over the politicization of death and the erosion of familial rights in state-led commemorations. In the broader context of Zambian politics, the Lungu burial dispute reflects deeper fault lines between the current administration and its predecessor, as well as the evolving role of the judiciary in mediating political conflicts. President Hichilema's reaffirmation of Embassy Park as the legal and symbolic burial site for presidents underscores his commitment to institutional norms, while the family's resistance reveals the enduring influence of personal legacy and political memory. The case also raises questions about the role of media in shaping public narratives, with conflicting reports and selective disclosures contributing to a fragmented understanding of the dispute. For journalists and analysts, the Lungu case offers a rich terrain for exploring the interplay between law, politics, and culture in post-colonial African states. It invites reflection on the meaning of state funerals, the boundaries of presidential power, and the ethics of public mourning. It also challenges media practitioners to navigate complex legal documents, verify sources, and present nuanced interpretations without succumbing to sensationalism or partisan bias.